So I always was so delighted when you joined us in our original Feng Shui journey, but at the very beginning. But you've been part of it since.
But there was something saying I definitely needed something, but
Mhm.
not quite knowing what it was, but going with, I suppose, my gut, my feeling. So there was an excitement of a shift happening within the house to support me. And also, the guys at home were at an age where there was lots of change going on. I was looking for my career to grow, and also my hobby at the time wasn't working, but was kind of looking for a certain type of job under his terms, his hours, all of this. And I probably started in March, and then April, a neighbor just called to the door, and
Yeah.
he was offered a job that he's still in. That was his hours, 6 months of the year, week on, week off, because he had worked around the clock and was looking for something different. It's like, oh, the intention was that he gets the job that he really likes to support him and the way he wants to live right now.
This is so nice. It's Patricia. I was like just typing the thing. It's Patricia and Patricia. And there's a lot of Patricias out there, but they go by different names. And I'm just since I turned like more recently, I turned, I'm just like, I'm Patricia, and I know you are too. So it's fun. We don't want those other the shortened versions.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so nice to see you. So just for a backstory, myself and Patricia met like in real life, possibly about 10, more than maybe 11 or 12 years ago. And she knows me from my like full-time feng shui world. So I always was so delighted when you joined us in our original feng shui journey, but at the very beginning. But you've been part of it since. So
Yeah.
do you want to introduce yourself and tell us where you are? It just feels so nice. I'm like, this is lovely to reconnect.
I was so looking forward to this. Kind of, I was really saying, lovely to catch up with you. So, yeah, my name is Patricia Sheehan, and I'm living in Dublin, in Ireland. And I suppose we met, like, as you said, probably 11, 12 years ago. So it brings me back to all those happy times, memories in the mind, body, spirit, doing our stuff and all that. So, yeah, so that's kind of where, yeah, we started. So I can continue talking, or do you want to
Go
ask
ahead,
about?
go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
just excited to hear more.
Okay. Yeah. So when we met at first, I suppose I was kind of doing my Reiki, and we were in mind, body, spirit, and you were doing your sound healing. And I remember going to one of your sound healing group sessions, and I said, oh yeah, kind of. So I'm, as being an energetic person, saying, yeah, the vibe is good here, lovely space and all this. And then I was on one of my stalls, and you walked by with your red handbag. And I says, oh, it was kind of a shift. And I kind of thought, oh yeah, there's something different going on. And then when I saw it was 2016, and yes, I don't know whether that was the beginning or near the
We
beginning.
had just started
Yeah,
2016. We had just that was it. Yeah, just started. So it's like
yeah,
the very foundations. You're from the very beginning.
yeah. And when it came my way first, as you know, Patricia, I've been in energy work for years. So I
Yeah,
would probably at one level say, well, I don't need any more energy, because I my whole life was
yeah.
teaching people how to be with energy. But there was something saying I definitely needed something, but
Mhm.
not quite knowing what it was, but going with, I suppose, my gut, my feelings, and also that I resonated with all of your energy and everything. So I said, there was something I need to know or learn from Feng Shui. And I suppose I would have done the book 20 years ago, the little bits and pieces, but nothing. Like, I didn't know what to expect, and I've got so much out of it. And I suppose at the time I was trying to grow my own business a little bit more. That was my intention when I came in. I said I needed to grow it. However, being in the energy world, I put a lot of time and effort to keep myself grounded,
Yeah.
and that was very hard work when you're expanding and expanding in the energetic world. So when I came across, when we started with you and Ken at the time, and it was very personable at the beginning, because it was a smaller group. And um, I suppose the idea of all the remedies in the house was very new. I didn't know about remedies at all before. So there was an excitement of a shift happening within the house to support me, and also the guys at home were at an age where there was lots of change going on. So when I started first, I was looking for my career to grow, and also my hobby at the time wasn't working, but was kind of looking for a certain type of job under his terms, his hours, all of this. And I probably started in March, and then April, a neighbor just called to the door, and
Yeah.
he was offered a job that he's still in. That was his hours, 6 months of the year, week on, week off, because he had worked around the clock and was looking for something different. And this was a job that generally you have to go away for, but now
Yeah.
it's in Dublin. Like, so that was like, oh, the intention was that he gets the job that he really likes to support him and the way he wants to live right now. So that was April, the first tick.
Yeah.
And then I was looking for my everything to grow, and I had done my websites up in my power colors, and I loved everything, and I loved everything I had, and just wanted to make a bigger impact on the world with growing in myself. And then in July, I was out with some friends, and they said, "Oh, we have an opportunity." I just laughed at them because it was my old world they were talking about, and I says, "I'm not going there. I'm here." But I took that job, and everybody in my energy world was saying, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But at the time, it felt internally perfect,
Hmm.
even though my head hadn't caught up because the decision was a completely different career. My house was the support of that because everything was kind of in the right place. So
Yeah.
the energy felt really grounded. I don't think I would have made that decision if I hadn't really started Feng Shui, because it was like I was grounded in my being that this was the thing to do. But
Mm.
it was totally kind of came in from a side. It wasn't really in alignment with
No,
energy work.
expected with a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, it was back incorporated, that. But I brought all of this into that world. But for the first 2 years, it was very hard to be in that world
Mm.
because it's a different world. But I come home to my haven, and at the same time, I had a list of things that needed to change in the house. And you don't do everything overnight, like carpet colors that were wine in color had to change to lighter colors. And I can remember the stairs always annoying me as I cleaned it. And it was like deep red. And it was in relationship area and all of that. And I still remember the piece of my relationship area, that it's, set and it's
Yeah.
calm and relaxed. And the colors of the house have changed. The hall door was one of my biggest kind of things I wanted to get it replaced when I could, because um, the color wasn't there. All of that, because now it's the color aligned with my color, and even having the two big pots. It's like I come to the door and it's like, oh, it's like this support. This big tree is there to
Yeah.
welcome me in. So that supported me being in the other world,
Yeah.
the other world, and but with that, I I asked that I would earn X amount of money. So I went in probably with double what I had been earning, and I was probably, because I've since another change, I had gone up to nearly 4 times of what I was at. So I got the visual of what I wanted, but I also went up a couple of levels where I was then a leader of a group. So then I could be totally myself with this
Mm.
team, because they liked the way I worked with them, and people are saying that team has changed. So I just did my energy visualization, emotional work with them, and yet they were there to do another job. But
Yeah.
so the my as I was developing, I know why I went into the world. I just needed to become more grounded
Yeah.
and the house was a reflection of that. But one question you were asking, why did I come back every year? Because I actually added it up. Like, this is my eighth report, I think, this
Yeah.
year. So I'm into
That's
year
much. Wow.
nine. Um, and the first 1 or 2 years, there was a big change of everything within the home to kind of come up to the level
Yeah.
of Feng Shui. Um, and then I suppose every year, every January was an opportunity for me to reconnect with the house. to reestablish my intentions for every area and to relook at every area as well. So that's what I did kind of every January and February is kind of that reconnection. And some of the years I said, well, do I need to do it? But I said, yeah, I need to do it. I definitely need to do it because we're all changing. I'm changing who I am now. And the energy of my environment is very different to who I was when I started the journey.
Yeah.
Um, and I really feel like the house is kind of almost like another being.
Yeah.
So it's changing as well. And like anytime we got any work, I connected with the house, thanking the house for how it served us up to now. But now we're going to make some changes. And I could feel, especially when I stopped all the energy work, there was one room in the house where I would have had a lot of people in, and that
Yeah.
room felt a little bit lost
Yeah.
because suddenly I was in the family room, then the community room in my house, and I wasn't in the spiritual area.
Yeah.
And that area was saying, "Hey, what about me?" And that used to be my favorite space in the
Mm.
house, but I kind of shifted. But part of this year was actually moving back into that area and reviving it because it was lost actually for the last two
Yeah.
years, and I knew it, but I hadn't got um I hadn't got the knowing of how I was to rejig it. I'm kind of getting that now,
Yeah.
only in the last couple of months. I knew last year I had to leave the organization I'd gone to because I was
Yeah.
moving into something different. So normally what I do is I have a plan before I leave. This time I had no plan. So I left in July after 7 years of going into that climate. And I'm kind of opening up into something different, another kind of role. Um, and part of me, when you had asked me, invited me to be here,
Yeah.
and the theme was career and house, and the house, and now I have no career. So, oh my God, I'm going on to talk about career, and now I have no career. So I said, okay, I'm so privileged and so happy that you asked me to be here. And I said, okay, Patricia Lohan. And I said, your energy, I'm going to kind of tap into that I have something lined up for this
Hmm.
call.
Yeah.
So when I was invited and I says, and I have nothing lined up. So that was probably 2.5 weeks ago when I was invited. And then within a week, something came into my online. I saw something that I could have possibly not seen.
Hmm.
And it was this area where it says, I actually would like to work for this company. It's in a non-profit company, and I'd like to work for this guy, and he's hiring. And then I applied for it, and I said I apply on my birth date. So I choose the dates. My birth
Hmm.
date was the 5th, kind of just after the new
Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year. So I said I'll send the application in on that date. So based on all that you're providing, I'm looking at the energetic good times to participate in. And at 4 o'clock, he rang before this call, but he said, "I'm not ringing you about the job." And I said, "Okay." I said, "We come back to that one because the applications are kind of due today, and but I want to ring you about something else." But it's kind of interesting. First of all, I may not have seen it, and then I
Hmm.
see it. And I said I had the intention that by today I might have just some direction of what this new thing is. So the intentions I really are important. But when I get my report every year, it focused me to rethink my intentions. And
Yeah.
my life has become a lot simpler and clearer, and the space is much clearer.
Yeah.
And I actually still have some of my intentions from, I kind of got them out of my folder from 2016 and 17, just pages of them. Now I have probably one page with a couple on it
Yeah.
because the house and myself and family, we've kind of worked through
Mm.
stuff. So it's been an amazing journey, and I can see it as a continuous amazing journey
Yeah.
because the house almost is an energetic boundary. I would
Mm.
call it boundary as a protection thing, for us that are in it. But then anything that we do within it, the house is supporting who we connect to outside as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been amazing.
I love what you've just said there about it being like a supportive boundary. And I think that this is, it's like just a sanctuary that you have created, and that it'll just support you at what it is that you want and need. Um and it's listening, it's really listening.
Yeah, yeah. And it's 100, like we've now got two adult children living
Mm.
in the house. So just so there's no perfection in this at all. Like there's one room and one guy is in it that it's the career room and helpful people. And I know definitely there's support needed in that area. That room is chaotic right at this time. By this evening, it won't be. But what I've been doing with my intention in the room is clearing it, in saying it's clearing. So that when I go in and I just kind of bring some remedy, the final remedies into that space, and that it's it's just it's also respecting the other adult people in the house. So I am respectful of that, but I understand, as you say, it's a boundary that supports everybody.
Yeah.
And even though they may know not they don't they may not know that they support everything I do by not saying we support you, but by allowing it all happen.
Yeah.
And it was like refilling the water in the back. And my husband said, well, what are you doing? I says, I'm filling the bucket with water. And, and it wasn't like, no, and then I says, where's the pump? I don't know where that, and then he found the pump, he cleaned the pump, he put the pump in. So it's like, there's all the support without the verbal support. So
Yeah.
they're all behind it energetic. I know they know the
Yeah.
support they get from the space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I just love how, and I think this, because I know what you were doing before and how your career had changed. I'd heard that you'd given us that update all right over the years. But what I do love is that, when you have the support and that foundation, the things will just happen. And it may not be what you've kind of like planned. You're like, here's another job here, or I know I need to leave here, or your husband is like, this is what I'm looking for. And in our group, and we see it, like this is the work. It's like it's about that alignment. And the fact that you were able to bring that magic and that energy work into like corporate and help people, like that's that's what's was being required.
Yeah,
That's
I
kind of
think
part
so.
of it,
Yeah,
like.
yeah, because everybody was saying, "What are you doing?" I says, "Don't ask me," because I couldn't answer it because it was so not me. But when I ended up in there, there was a before I used to be the only one that cried. I go in and I would send something, and they'd be looking at. Now they were all crying when I left. So the energy softened, and they grouped out. They went in. I was happy to bring my energy to that space for what they
Yeah.
did, but it took a personal shift. But I remember coming home and saying, "Oh God, at least my house was my haven when I
Yeah.
came home because I had that support for me." But it's like, as you said, it's about expansion and aligning. And sometimes the thoughts can be from where we are now,
Yeah.
not knowing what your expansion needs to be in your future state.
Yeah.
And as somebody said to me today, control is really easy, but letting go is harder. But letting go provides everything that we need that we don't really know. So the, even the next phase I'm going in, it's kind of another unknown, but I now know that I've done the unknown before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going in the right direction, even though the the, the
There's
me
more
would
that
probably say,
goes
well,
into it. And I think that's obviously that's exactly where a lot of people are. They're listening here, they're wondering, oh, should I join Powerhouse and do the program? And it is the unknown. It really is the unknown. But when you move into the unknown, and that's essentially it's tapping into that flow, because like, the letting go part is the dance between the yin and the yang energy. It's the Tao, it's that flow of the river. And when you're in that flow, and that's the whole dance, is bringing the house, and the house is in balance. and you let go, you're just going to be brought on the journey of like where you're meant to be brought.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like what you've created, Patricia, is with this huge community that once you step into it, you're held by everybody, as well as the energy that you bring into it, which then feeds into the home. So it's nothing but support
Yeah.
for anybody that chooses to enter into that doorway. So it's it's and it can be as easy, as simple as anybody wants. And the fact that you can participate 110%, or you can say, no, I'm only in 10%, but being part of, we all need to be part of a group of some sort. And it's a really positive vibe in this group.
Yeah.
Like, you're so uplifting, and also anybody who's in on the team is amazing, and the support that is there, that and that's what the world needs right now. We need positive bubbles, and if somebody doesn't have a positive bubble, they need to just step in. And even if they don't understand what it is within the house, everybody will get whatever they need to get to the next level of where they're at. So if anybody's on the fence, even if they don't know anything about anything, it's just, if you haven't got a positive bubble in your environment, and it's not that you haven't got a positive bubble, but a supporting one that I suppose helps you grow. I think it's a real gem for anyone to be part
Yeah.
of this
And
group.
you've seen, like, I suppose, the momentum of that over the years, because you, like, there was only, I think we were probably 30 or 40 people at that stage when you started at the beginning. And like, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that is something that I just feel so just proud of and delighted with, is this beautiful community of amazing women. And as you said, some people step in and they're like all 100%, and they could be 110% for like of 2 months and get everything in, and then we never hear from them again. Or like yourself, you'll come in, you'll get your report, you'll ask two or three few questions at the beginning of the year, and then if you need something, and it's up to everyone. But knowing that you're in the container, and that's part of the big thing, is that container that we hold, and it's just been evolving a lot. And that focus on that, like, we do need positive bubbles and circles that that are completely different to the outside world, and we're creating that in an energetic container in the Facebook group, but also, as you said, it filters out into the house as well, because we just see it. Like, I see people like I see them when they first joined, and then their posts like a few months later, and you're like, this is a different person.
Yeah, yeah. But
No.
also, I even got, like, as you said, you've regenerated and Powerhouse, and as you say, you've your new portal this year, and
Yeah.
even the new portal, a portal is an opening, and the energy has gone way, way up this year of what you're providing, and even your guidelines on how we communicate within the group, even stating those, or taking the time to declare those and communicate those, that is really very powerful. Like, if any other groups, if any groups do that, the whole world will be working in a different way. That this is the way we operate here, and the fact that you're kind of guarding that and protecting that in the way that you're doing it, yet you're supporting everybody. People are learning that the way we speak creates, the way we see, envision, it creates. So a powerhouse is the mythology, but there's all of this other influence that's there, that's
Yeah.
having a huge impact. And I suppose the way I see it, if because this year I just said, I totally need to immerse myself back into it, because and also it's because of the year of the dragon. We're all ready to elevate. So we all need a cocoon of light to be in that elevation. So this year is really important, I think, for people to be part of something, because
Yeah.
there's two worlds. There's the
Yeah.
worlds of positivity, and there's a world, and it's not negating the reality, but the way to move through this reality is
Yeah.
being happier and more positive. So this, yeah, definitely helps all that.
And I'm so glad, like, thank you so much for your feedback. Like, it was a massive labor of love, the new portal and the new program and creating it. And I suppose just from all of these years, it's like it's creating those guidelines and those boundaries and those setting, and just exactly as you said, if we can have that, we're all like learning and growing together and evolving as well in a very positive way. Um, and that feels, it feels amazing. So it's really nice that you've actually noticed that. And you know, it's a big change from the old where it's like, this is feng shui, here you go. And now we're like, no, 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 this is like beyond that. But we'll just start with the feng shui, but there's so much many more layers in just a personal journey of becoming a powerhouse yourself as a
Yeah,
member.
yeah, yeah. And even though I kind of didn't, relationships is has been a huge shift, which I kind of wasn't on my agenda, except I that space is always clear, and it has, you know, all that it needs to have in a very simple way. But um all of those intentions I had years ago are no longer intentions. It's just the way we are together. But that there is that kind of the clarity, or um just being okay with everybody. So
Yeah,
um and relationships really are part of everybody's lives in some way, how we relate with ourselves or others. So yeah,
it's
nothing but positive
beautiful.
for you, Patricia, and
Thank
how
you
it
so
has
much.
grown, and it's yeah, it's amazing to be part of.
Oh, thank you so much. It's just so nice to hear from you and to see you. And just from this like whole journey from the very beginning, and knowing me from even before that, which is super fun. Patricia, is there anything else you'd like to share to people who are considering joining us in Powerhouse? You know, there's so many things you could I can say, but
Yeah.
and sometimes just something that one of our members can share will help them kind of get like some clarity.
The questions you ask in some of your uh, do you want to do Feng Shui, and like, is do you want to always leave your house, or you're not happy with your house, or do you not have people in, or those, so I thought those were quite provoking questions, because you might think about those as being the energy of your home. Even though our homes can be nice, the
Yeah,
energy may not be conducive to support us in different areas of your lives, our lives. And then, as if something isn't kind of happening, and you're working really hard all the time, it's possible that there's an area in the house that isn't supporting that in your life. So if people who are on the sideline thinking, I'd probably ask, is there some area that isn't working? And it might be as simple as Feng Shuiing the house, and getting to know that area. Like, there was one area in my head that always just got cluttered. It was just the place that got cluttered. And I now know, okay, what that area represents. I'm still sometimes inclined to clutter it, because it's a mechanism in me. But straight away I said, no, clear that, because we're sabotaging areas of our lives sometimes, not to move on. So
yeah.
if people just ask themselves, is there one thing that they've been really working hard at? It is possibly an area that's not supporting them to make that happen.
Yeah, seen it happen. So thank you so much, Patricia. I really appreciate it. I really loved hearing everything that's unfolding for you and unfolded. And I can't wait for you to come in and share what unfolds with the new job and the new career, the next
Yeah.
path.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think, like, honestly, this is what has been so nice, like catching up with people who've been in the program for a long time, is just the snowball effect of this. It's like just a snowball, you know, it just keeps building and growing and changing, and yeah, it's fun. So thanks, Patricia.
Thanks, Patricia.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.